Yeah, what to say? I'm born again. I don't think that is the topic of today. I was thinking something of something yesterday that would be maybe interesting to talk about. But today it's lost. Today it's gone away. And maybe I will be reminded when this is finished. But I thought that the how-to video for some times ago, which I delivered 1st of June, some few days, 3 days ago. I thought it would be so many looking at that, but no, that was nothing, only one observer, and some other Norwegian cases. Cases. How do you write cases? How? Cases. That's it. I have to write it down before I start talking about it. It would be better that way. Cases can be thin. It can also be very thick. And different options of cases depend on who is talking about it, of course, but also what kind of case it's all about. The case for Israel, for example, is a very great topic. It can be widely debated. And what I do here is talk about cases. People are not aware that cases that for them is boring, as people tend to say about certain cases. Like what have been boring to me previously, that is not boring today. I think when I first heard religion or Kabbalah or so forth, it seems to be something unavailable for me to dig into. Now, today, I think I have a deeper understanding of my own self, other people, how to see the environment, both with people, social environment, economic and everything, in a more general term. If I'm just picky about which case I'm digging into, I tend also to be more sensitive. I told my children, and I also tell people that are a bit shy, and more shy than humble, I would say more shy, and try to avoid people, other people, or eye contact, or whatever, or just be silent, not talk. If they have something to say, they avoid doing it because they are afraid of the case, what others may think. I told my children as any father should do. If you are afraid of such things, because they have more sense of awareness, I would say more sense of awareness. Not awareness, but more sensitivity of awareness. They avoid sticking their head out, but by paying someone some genuine interest, just not overdo it, but just general term of interest, it will float into this area where you are not so preoccupied with yourself, how you appear. And no question would be awkward for those people that are paying others some interest. I did some activity when my friend was alive. I visited him, and that made me forget. Now my friend has gone. He was sitting, not to say anything bad of him, but I think he was very preoccupied with himself. So much so that he didn't see any way out. No way out. I go out just to forget my own cases, my own issues, my own... maybe it can be troubling. Maybe it can be some kind of a exercise back home all the time, but the case for me have been approach to normality. Normality is it have been a kind of a obsession. What is normal? So when I was going out, now I was denied at a certain place in the community here. But that was my free space, just to forget myself, preoccupied with other people, other cases. That was kind of very beneficial to me. Just to see how others were doing, how fair the service was there. And if people that was attending this place had some involvement on their own behalf, were taken into consideration, were taken into some cooperation. So I engaged too much maybe in others' eyes, and I was denied that place. And now this man that was my friend, I am often reminded of him because he was this nice man. And I don't think that was the case, because when I was visiting him, he was also preoccupied with me, how I was doing. He was preoccupied with other mundane things, just normal things. But in the end, I went to Kenya and I visited my place of my upbringing for about 9 years, all in all. And I showed him the place on video. I called him and he answered, and he seems to be happy for seeing that. But when I returned back home, I called him and asked, "No, Ole, this is not going well. I only wish to be other places." Not to dig deep into that, but in being so much by himself, I think it made him a bit sad. That is my conclusion. To be too much about yourself. I have a tendency, not that I can't avoid it, but I have a tendency to be very preoccupied with myself. And I just go out. If the weather is okay, not sunshiny, but okay. And yesterday I went out too. And always, without any exceptions, when I go out, I experience something very profoundly nice. And I appreciate those moments. At the cases, maybe we debate some cases that is hard to agree upon. But even though, if you can lay off those issues, if you can put aside what disappoints you, I think that is a beneficial activity that nourish your own approach to what is normal. So for me, normality have been an issue. What is normal? Because when I was growing up, I felt I was not normal. Just honest. I think that is not a very odd and strange and rare feeling. Feeling off, feeling odd, feeling not normal. I think that is a normal abnormality for the human mind. Because if you are secluded in an environment that is only happy or just confirming and so on, it should be good. But you see, some plants grow up where there are harsh conditions. We have to admit, some plants find themselves in a very hard condition. The seed is sprouting, but the environment, you have to see far and long in order to see the opportunity where you are. Where you are. You see, the cases for this plant is very narrow, very thin. And you have to find your path into the soil, which is the most normal thing in the world. The normality of the plant. Every plant is the soil where it grows. It's more or less equal. As long as you find what you need, it's always the same thing for every plant. You find what you need, and you nourish from that. And even though you're in a bad condition, you still find what you need, because when you sprout, you sprout. It's the conditions that made you sprout. So when you sprout, you will also be able to have some kind of a growth. Some people are worse off than others. That's a normality. So I was in an environment maybe too much secluded, I don't know. Maybe not so much secluded, more or less. I can't really say but anyway, I didn't feel normal. That was the premise of my upbringing. I didn't feel normal, which I found later on that is quite normal. what people tend not to tell others. My friend that just died, he told me something that he never told me before, just before he died. So he kept that as a very secret thing, not to tell anyone. And he told me, what I have told you now I shouldn't say. So I realized what he told me was quite normal too. This is normal. Why do you hurt yourself for feeling what you are feeling? The case for you is that you are you, and you feel the way you feel because you are you. You can't deny that kind of a obvious fact that I have these feelings. I have this kind of awareness. It's kind of different awareness from maybe your friend or whoever you compare yourself with. But in this case, where you are the case, you have to regard everything as normal, even when you feel not normal. And I think that is the clue of solving some cases that is hard to solve. That you act in a mindset that this is normal for me. You will not feel that you reject yourself. I think part of the sense of rejection we feel from others is more or less ourselves that have some denial of how we are. We tend to react to what is similar to us. I don't know how to analyze that, but I believe that could be the case, that we are sensitive to something we hear. And then I asked my friend, a lady friend, she's a very nice lady, and I was saying something. I told a small story that I met some guys that we were talking about people that end their life, and it's a kind of a serious case that may need to be elaborated and talked about, not kept under wraps. And we were too talking about such cases of self-inflicted death. And it was kind of a nice, humble talk, nice talk. We could talk about it. And there comes a man, another friend. And I introduced the topic, the case. And he said, I don't pity those that end their life. So I told the lady, where does that come from? That kind of a harsh, cruel attitude to people that end their life. So she told me something that made me think, reflect, that maybe he is sensitive to that. Maybe something of that sort have been happening in his own family or in his own self or whatever that could be the case. So whenever you see people, meet people, you have your own case to go out from. So be meek, be soft, be nice, be loving, be humble to others' experience that is different from yours, and I wish you all a good day.